Today, Baba talks about first ignorance and knowledge. And ignorance is very interesting because the ignorance of sin means you can continue to do something which is very sinful and never know that it is a sin. But then it is a sin anyway, and you will pay for it. And that is the beauty of ignorance. You can, when you are ignorant about something, you repeat your actions that are causing you loss without even realizing that it is your own action that is causing you loss. And I remember there was this one little Kanya in the Yagya when, in the early days of the Yagya. And at that time, she used to wear everybody's dresses. So, she would take anybody's frock or skirt and wear it. And then everybody complained to Mama that she's stealing our clothes. And then Mama called her and she asked, why are you stealing somebody's clothes? So she said, no. Then she said, are these your clothes? So she said, no. So then Mama said, then why are you wearing it? So she said, because I liked it. So then Mama said, but you have to ask whenever you are taking somebody's clothes, and only if they allow you can take it, otherwise it is called stealing. So the child understood, and then from that day on she started asking. So she didn't know it was stealing until she was told. So you see, Baba also says that 63 births we are in ignorance, and we do not know the definition of happiness or sorrow or sin or good karma. We don't know anything, and in our oblivion, in our in our ignorance, and ignorance is not innocence. Innocence and ignorance are two different things. Innocence needs to be retained, ignorance needs to be removed. But sometimes you equate ignorance and innocence. That's also another thing. So sometimes people say because they are innocent they are doing this. So no, they are ignorant and they need to be corrected, or they need to be brought to light. It's not innocence. So innocence is in deities. Deities are innocent, not ignorant, because they don't perform sinful actions. So that is also one thing that we must note. Now, Baba says, I bring you to light, I bring you to knowledge, and I remove the darkness of ignorance. And then Baba says, I am the ocean of happiness, I am the ocean of love. And I make you like myself, or I remind you that you are made in my image. So, have you heard that expression that man is made in the image of God? So, man is made in the image of God, and whatever are the qualities of God, those are my qualities also. So, Baba is the ocean of love, and I am also the master ocean of love by design. But we have accumulated sanskars which are not in consonance with my original sanskars or my Baba's sanskars now, and this is why we are in this state. So Baba says, now I'm again reminding you that I am the ocean of love and happiness. You are also like me. Now we need to understand these two concepts of love and happiness, which are very, very flawed in the world. So there is, this sorrow and happiness, and it is all very twisted. Now, yeah, I will relate one incident yesterday. So there was this one lady, and she had come and she said she was crying, and she said, Didi, I was very good at studies, and my father told me that we are rich and you don't need to work. and I will take care of you. And even if you don't get a good husband or anything, no problem, I will take care of you. So you don't need to use that study to earn anything. So she said, I was very good at studies, but I never worked after I finished my college. And then I got married to a person who never valued me because I didn't earn money. And I stayed with that with my husband, and I have two children. And after 18 years, I just couldn't handle more, or I don't know what shifted inside me, but I asked for a divorce. And then but the whole legal proceeding happened, and we got divorced. Now my father was there, and I was banking on him because I'm a dependent person. I have never worked. Now my father was also very supportive, and he was happy that I am back, and he would take care of me. But then he died after 3 months. And then she says, now I don't have a husband, I don't have a father, and I don't know how to work, I don't know how to earn, and my children are dependent on me, and I'm in a very bad state. So she said that so the question she was asking here was, who is responsible for my sorrow? And if she said that some many a times my heart says that my father was the biggest villain of my life, but then he always loved me, so how could he be the villain of my life? But then what he did to me did not have good consequences. So I don't know why a person with such good intentions can end up being cursed by his own daughter. Because so I told her that, see, intention is not enough. Even if somebody has very good intentions, but they do not know the beginning, middle, and end of their actions, they are not trikaldarshi, they are not knowledgeful, then sometimes you may have the best intentions, but in the long run you will not receive blessings because of that, because you are doing something out of ignorance, which is making which is becoming the cause of sorrow for someone else. So this is why this topic is very important. Baba says don't give sorrow. And sometimes we feel that giving sorrow is limited to just speaking rudely, or talking loudly, or being aggressive. Of course, those are forms of giving sorrow, but that is not limited to this much. So sometimes being sweet could also be giving sorrow. So chat gpt is very sweet. And so do you know that these days chat gpt is replacing therapists and spiritual counselors and everything. And you whatever emotions you just project onto it, it is going to reflect it back to you and not hold you accountable for anything. So if you are talking to AI, it will tell you that you are doing everything right, and the whole world is against you, and they have a problem, you don't have a problem. But then, is it so? It is not. So if somebody is very sweet and very supportive, even that could be a form of giving sorrow. So we need to understand what is exactly giving sorrow and giving happiness. So Baba says, providing somebody, the structure to be disciplined, to be knowledgeful, to be pure, along with being sweet. So, you have to provide the structure for any soul to build understanding, strength, purity, and then that has to be done with structure, with sweetness, because The problem is, people are either body consciousness works two ways. One way, people think that, I have to provide structure, I have to discipline somebody, and then what they do is they discipline with a lot of aggression and a lot of force, and then people develop a very antagonistic relationship with discipline. So then they don't like any discipline. And I will tell you my personal experience that I have met many souls who come to the center and they don't like to be disciplined. So you tell them anything, you just, even if you tell them, just put your shoes in place, they don't like it. They think that it's a form of control that is being exercised. And I remember there was this one brother, and I told him, when you come, you place your shoes in the shoe rack and then you enter. So he said, I can't be, I can't always be thinking about whether I placed my shoes right or not. So I said, try, you can do everything. And then he said, no, no, but it's too much for me. I don't like to be controlled. So I said, but it's fine, you don't like to be controlled. But why is this one little thing making you feel that somebody is trying to control you? So then I made him sit down, and he came to that. When he talked it out, he shared with me that ever since childhood, everybody has been trying to tell him that he's wrong and he whatever he's doing is wrong, and that has been spoken very harshly. So even if somebody is today telling him what to do and what not to do, sweetly, he cannot hear that sweetness. He can only hear that tone of control. And these are the things. So, what is actually giving sorrow? So, giving sorrow means either so there are two kinds I told you. First is you discipline them and you do it with harshness, and then what happens is their relationship with discipline is broken forever. And then second kind of people who are sustaining others are those who allow them to they allow them 100% liberty, do whatever you want. But then, if you do whatever you want, then you will get whatever the universe wants, not what you want. So, this is, law of karma is working, and every thought, word, act has consequences. And a very good analogy that we use for karma is it's like an arrow. Once you release it, you don't know where it will hit and you can't take it back. So, with karma, you always have to be very careful before releasing that arrow. If a thought is created, it's created. If a word is spoken, it's spoken. You can't take it back. If something is done, it's done. So, you have to be concerned about the effect it's going to have before doing that karma. So there are some people who think that this world is my stage to act whatever I want to, whatever I feel like doing. But that's not how you can approach life. That's not how you will get what you want from life. So these are the two things that people do. Now, Baba says you need to be put into structure, you need to be disciplined, you need to be made to understand the intricacies of karma. You need to understand that you don't only need knowledge, but you need power also to do good karma. And good karma is the privilege of a powerful soul. Even if you know what is right to do, you cannot do it until you have the power, and especially the power of purity. So you need yoga to purify yourself so that you have the capacity to do good karma. And Baba says, providing that structure to be pure, to be knowledgeful, to be powerful with sweetness, That's called giving happiness. Yes, so you cannot give happiness just by, people think that, so there are three kinds of happiness. So one is instant happiness, and which is a form of pleasure. So, and it is instant, so it comes instantly, goes instantly. So that is the instant happiness. So instant happiness is very sensory, so it's dependent on our senses. So when somebody is talking sweetly, somebody is being polite, nice, or somebody is making your body comfortable, or somebody is giving you any kind of comfort, making you feel comfortable through their words, acts, giving you your favorite food, or speaking the language that you like to listen to, all of that is also giving happiness, but it fizzles out very easily. So somebody makes you comfortable, and then as soon as somebody can make you comfortable, if somebody has the power to make you feel comfortable in 10 seconds, then another person or another situation has the power to make you uncomfortable in 10 seconds. So that is a very like flawed notion of happiness. But again, if you don't do that also, that is sorrow. So if you are speaking harshly, rudely, or your intentions are good but your language is very impolite, then that is also a form of giving sorrow, although that sorrow can be worked on. But then if the soul is somebody who takes sorrow, then they can take it, amplify it, and create it into a trauma also. And most people who give sorrow, they think that I only said one word, I only spoke one sentence. I remember there was this one lady, and she told me that my daughter is very weird. So I said, why is she weird? So she said, very simple things that we did in childhood, today she is telling us we were the villains of her life because we did that. So I said, for example, so she said, you see, when she was little, so maybe something happened, maybe I stopped her from doing something, or I didn't allow her or something. And then when other people were sitting and she shared that, then I said, no, this never happened. And yesterday she was telling me, you have been gaslighting me all my life, so that's why today when somebody is gaslighting me, I cannot figure out. So now she has these strange ideas and she's blaming me for things which I never think I did. So you see that sometimes we don't understand that every soul is very wounded, and the impact of one blow on a wounded soul is much greater than the perceived impact of that blow. So, for example, just think about your hand hurting or leg hurting, and then it's a wounded, and then somebody just brushes against it. It's not like they are hitting on it or beating you up, but just brushing against it can cause such a lot of pain. And the person who did that will never understand, because they think that I did not do too much. Why did you say it was very painful? So, understanding that at this time we have had our journeys of 63 births, and our every soul is pretty much wounded. And today, if we don't take care to be consciously polite, mindful of the impact of our words and actions, then we might end up giving sorrow. So it's very important to understand this. And if we don't understand this and just say that, I did something which was very harmless, very little, and this person is overreacting. Even if they are overreacting, that has created a karma of giving sorrow. So, this is something that we need to understand. So, this is about the first kind of sorrow. Second thing is, there is a twist in this also. So, there is one thing is you are giving, you are saying something, doing something which is hurting the soul. Second thing is you are setting boundaries for yourself, and that is hurting the soul. Yes, because people are very hurt when their desires and expectations are not fulfilled. Yes, so this has to be taken care of, because you cannot you cannot live with this idea that I don't have to set any boundaries for myself because the person in front of me will get hurt. So there is this notion of happiness, that you give happiness in a method, in a way that the other person wants, which is equal to fulfilling their desires and whims and fancies and expectations. But Baba says, no, if you are just setting your own boundary and you are not doing or saying something that's hurtful, you are not even if, you're not doing any slightest thing that's hurting the other person, but you are just setting your own boundaries of what I want to do, how much I want to do, when I want to do, and I don't want to do more than this, then that is not giving sorrow. Okay, so one has to be very clear about this. I will tell you one thing. So there is this one lady, and she told me that my mother-in-law wants to know everything about my life. So she doesn't allow me any privacy. So she, from what I earn to what I eat to how I sleep to what I think, my mother-in-law wants to know everything. And then she said that, lying is not right. So I have been taught that you shouldn't lie. So then she keeps asking. She says the moment I sit there, she will just keep asking one after the other. It will be like an interview that she's taking, and just, interrogation actually. And she would keep interrogating me, and I end up telling her everything, and then she twists it and she uses many things to her advantage and my disadvantage. And what do I do? So then she said, if I don't tell the truth to my mother-in-law, then is it a form of lying? So I said, no, it's not, because you are not doing anything to hurt her, you are just protecting your boundary, and you have every right to do that. So she said, if she asks me something, so I said, give one word answers, don't go into details, just keep quiet, don't say anything, don't even lie, but just keep quiet. And if you don't want to answer something, you should know that you have a right to not answer it. First you need to know that. Yes. So, let's say, I remember there was this one episode when a friend asked me for a lot of money, and I was not even in Gyan at that time. And I did not know what to say. I did not know whether to say yes or whether to say no. And um, it's not about whether to give or not. Of course, I won't give, that much I knew. But I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to say yes. So then I just kept quiet. And then that person understood that it was a wrong thing to say. And then we never discussed it again. And we are still friends. So there is no problem in, just setting your boundary and keeping quiet about things that are if somebody is crossing a line, you also cross your line and you have to say something, or make that person feel that they did wrong. Not necessary, just stay silent, and that much will send the right message. So this is about instant sorrow. So giving in to somebody's desires and expectations is not your duty, and you not giving into it is not a form of giving sorrow. Second is, if you're doing something, saying something that is hurtful, then you say that I did only this much or this little. No, you don't have a right to say that, because the impact can be much more than the impact you perceive it has. So these are two things you need to have clarity about: instant sorrow and happiness. And then second thing is about the two, I think I can only think of two things today: filling somebody with lack of self-worth, or filling somebody with this sanskar of dependency. That is conditioning somebody into feeling that they are not enough, they are not worthy, and conditioning somebody into feeling that they need someone and something to be okay. That's a very big form of giving sorrow. So, and these belief systems or this conditioning becomes these thick chains inside us, which we cannot break on our own if we are conditioned into it. And anybody who is conditioned into believing that they are incapable, unworthy, small, or inefficient, even if the whole world tells them later that you're very good, very difficult to change it. So especially when we are dealing with formative years of children, and we are dealing with people who are young, giving them the message that you are strong and worthy and you matter is very important. So that is so when we come to Baba, Baba tells us, you are mine however you are. And you are worthy, you are a soul, you matter, you have a part to play in this whole world drama. Even if nobody perceives your part to be big, your part is still big. And there is this, I think Kabir or Rahim, somebody's couplet, and they say that there is a needle and there's a sword. The sword is bigger and the needle is very small, but you cannot substitute them when need arises. You cannot use the sword in place of the needle, and you can't use the needle in place of the sword. So everybody has their own role, and Baba tells us, never compare your role to anybody's role. So you are where you belong, and you matter, and you are here for a purpose and reason, and you are worthy, even if somebody accepts it, recognizes it, or doesn't. Yes, so that is very important. And only Baba frees us from these chains of this belief system or conditioning that you are unworthy. But if you are giving this to somebody, based on body conscious people, what do? You are not getting good marks, you're a fool. You're not, you don't have fair skin, you are a nobody. You don't have, you don't have a good height, then you are a nobody. So this is what people keep doing and keep instilling. But Baba says that that is a form of giving sorrow for a lifetime. And of course, you carry those sanskars later also. And then second thing is making them dependent. So, emotionally dependent, financially dependent, or, physically dependent. So one very big form of conditioning is you have biological needs and you need another person to fulfill those biological needs. But they are not needs. They are just pleasures that you engaged in because you didn't know that's a form of sin. So that's why, conditioning somebody into thinking, and whatever you think, you feel. So, that's the interesting thing. Your feelings lie to you, but they are not actually lying to you because they stem from your own thoughts. So you are thinking that you have physical needs, and then those needs are not met, and so you're miserable. So you will be miserable. So, because that's how you are thinking and feeling, and your thought and feeling are your own creation. So nobody can stop you from feeling the way you want to feel, or making somebody conditioning somebody into believing that you need too much. These are needs. So financially, you need a very big house, and you need this and that, and you need a lifestyle. That is also a form of giving sorrow, because everybody should know that um, Baba also never says that if you have something, don't use it. Baba never says that. But Baba says you must understand that your inner happiness and your external resources are not linked. And even if resources are very little, you can be very happy with that. And if they are too much, no problem, you use them. But Baba says, don't ever fall into this bondage that if I don't have five, items on my plate, then my taste buds will not thank me. So you can eat anything in Baba's remembrance and be happy. You can live in a small place and be happy. So you should know this. So, but if you're conditioned into it, then that becomes a very big source of misery. I remember there was this one Mata, and she was telling me that my husband, he took a home loan, and then that went wrong, something happened, and then we had to shift from a 4 BHK to a 1 BHK. And she said, from that day my life changed. So I said, this is not. So if your life can change because you shifted from a big house to a small house, then you must think about your idea of life. This is not the reason why, so. But then of course I can't dismiss it, because that's how she's feeling, and we feel how we are conditioned to feel. So then I had to give her the course and everything to make her understand better. Then third thing is, you are emotionally dependent. So somebody has to speak a certain way, behave a certain way, for you to feel happy, peaceful, and loved. Yes, so this is also a very big conditioning, and we are all victims of that conditioning, and that's why there is so much emotional misery. And so Baba says that you don't have, giving somebody this kind of a conditioning is giving them a lot of sorrow, which they will pay heavily for in the future. So when somebody asks us, should we get married, we say you can do whatever you want, but there is no need. So you can do whatever you want. We don't dictate what you do. But if you've come here, we will tell you that you don't need marriage. So, you don't need anything. You don't need, these are just things that you have been conditioned to thinking you need. You may think it's a choice. And then if you can choose to go into it, you can choose to go out of it, or you can choose how to be in it. So you have a choice at every point. You should know that. And if you think it's a compulsion today, then it will be a compulsion always. And then it will become a trap. So knowing that everything is a choice is very important. You may do it, you may not do it. So Baba says that you must know these things. Then third kind of sorrow is, not teaching somebody what good karma or altruistic karma or knowledge is, or not teaching somebody how to remember Baba, or how to burn the sins, how to create uh, an account of 21 births. So, just like, in bhakti, when people are training their children, they teach them a lot of stuff, and they also teach them dan punya. They take them to temples and they teach them how to donate, because in bhakti also you need to learn how to create your fortune for the next birth, because in bhakti it is one birth after the other, and if you donate in this birth you get it in the next. Similarly, here Gyan tells us that telling somebody who they are, who is Baba, teaching them how to remember Baba, and teaching them how to do seva is giving them happiness, because you are making them learn the art of ensuring they live in a world of happiness for 21 births. So these things have to be understood. So don't give immediate sorrow, give immediate happiness, happiness of one lifetime, by freeing everybody from the bondages of lack of self-worth, fear, and lack of dependence. And then third is teaching them how to sow the seeds of remembrance and good karma and Baba seva in this life, so that they can be happy for the next 21 births. So, this is a very broad subject. I have tried to finish it in one class, but it was very difficult for me, let me tell you. And I've been juggling with this since morning. So, I have missed out a lot also. So, you just think on these lines, and Baba will touch your buddhi regarding this. So, anybody wants to share something, you can, please.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today Baba spoke about our conditioning, which has gone very wrong till now, and due to that only we are suffering so much.
Yes.
So now remembrance of Baba and Gyan makes us transform
Yes.
our sanskars from old ones to new ones.
Correct.
All these directions only their children can follow, who realize that it is for the new me.
Yes.
Baba is speaking to new me, not old one.
Correct.
If I think I am old one, then I cannot follow this.
Yes. Correct. So this is our new birth. So we now belong to Baba, and in a new birth we have that capacity to learn and absorb. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti.
It was very nice to hear that intention is not enough always. We need to know the beginning, middle, and end of our actions.
Yes.
And I think we sometimes end up definitely doing an action out of love, which can definitely cause sorrow to the family, yet thinking that our intention is so correct. And so this was very profound today.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
Om Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti.
Thank you for this beautiful class. And some points I would like to share is that, like, a first thing, ignorance is not bliss. Although even if we are ignorant, we still come under the law of karma, even after being ignorant.
Yes.
So it's not a bliss. We should always try that the knowledge should be the source of doing every karma.
Okay.
And another thing is that discipline with aggression is also giving sorrow.
Yes.
And setting boundaries for ourselves is not giving sorrow.
Yes.
It's my rights.
Yes.
And we should never compare our role with anyone else. And we feel as we are conditioned, so we should not always trust our feelings.
Yes.
So I like these few points. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Om Shanti. Anybody else would like to share? Okay. So tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, there might be some changes in the program because I think tomorrow we will have only one class at 5 p.m. in the evening, and day after tomorrow there'll be morning class which you will join with the Hindi manthan, and then Monday I think there won't be any class as such, but you can join in Diwali celebrations in the evening, I think. So this is the tentative program, I think, and you will be informed by message whatever is the program. So keep yourself updated by checking messages regularly. Om Shanti.